Hello everyone, this is Jasmina, and in this video I'm going to talk about the Gong Dong Date Selection Basics. It is a system that is a little bit on the unique side. It doesn't tell you the quality of every day in terms of a necessarily an element. I mean, there's some of that in there, but it tells you the quality of most days for starting something significant. It doesn't mean that you can't make progress on something you've already done, that you've already started. It really you need to know that this focuses on just starting something big. It doesn't predict how the day goes. You can have a really good day, a very um, productive day on a bad Dong Gong day because you're not starting something new. And when you see this, you will see there are a lot of negative days. But again, remember this only applies to new endeavors. So don't get so worried that these days are negative. This is not something that it's not like the difference between a success day and maybe a balanced day, one so much better than the other. That isn't what you really need to worry about here. Now, the way we find this largely is based on the month animal. We don't care about the element of the month, but only the animal sign, and on the day pillar, which is the element and the animal sign. Now, the first part of this uses the Chinese solar calendar months. The Batzi can give you this information. Tongshu's will often give you the day pillar, but they don't always give you the month information. But most Batzi calculators, including the free ones, will allow you to search in the future. So you can do that when you're planning something new and something big. Now, this is kind of an unusual kind of thing. I mean, if you actually plot everything out, this type of date selection is often out of sync with the other types. That is, you can have a good day officer, a good black rabbit day, and a good yellow and black belt day. They can all be very positive. In fact, they can be really, really good. And yet, this Dong Gong day could actually be quite negative, even like the worst part of the negative. So it it let's say it tends to make it harder to pick a good day to start something really significant. Now, if you are going to start a new project, especially a big project, this is the only time to really be concerned about the Dong Gong properties. If it's an extension of an existing um, project that you're doing, you don't have to worry about it so much. If you've had success, you can even choose a neutral day because that would be fine. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a bit. When I'm talking about big projects, it's like starting a new business from scratch, first day of starting the process to even create the business. This also includes new construction for any type of building. Also, the start of a big renovation project, not painting your walls or something like that. That's tiny. We're talking about, like maybe a kitchen remodel where all the cabinets and everything comes out, and maybe you expand it or somehow change its layout. That's a big project. That's a big renovation project. And also, it could include having a serious, that is, but non-emergency operation. There are there are things like this. I mean, this can include things like hip replacements and stuff like this. Those are pretty significant. Uh, it's not very likely that you will have negative consequences, but you can help not have them if you don't start on the worst days. Now, you can still make really great progress on an existing project even when the Gong Dong date is negative. So don't worry about this on a day-to-day type of thing. Remember, it's only for starting that this day is very important. So again, since you need to know the month animal and the day pillar, you have to have a good place for that. I have not seen a Tongshu calendar that doesn't have the day pillar, but many do not clearly define when the month changes. And this is going to occur between the third and eighth days of a Gregorian month. So you can do this by using a free Batsa calculator if you don't have a better Tongshu calendar. Some Tongshus are very good, some are so-so. Now, if you want really exact times, you can find them at the Hong Kong Observatory in their solar terms um, page. And you just Google Hong Kong Observatory solar term, you should get there. Now, there's 2 solar terms per month. That is like a tiger month, a rabbit month, the Chinese solar months. And this time is for Hong Kong. So, and I think that's the time that you should actually uh, use. And you can use it as your local time. That is okay. But if you really want to get picky, you could change it. I mean, this really is a true time, so you could change it to your local time using something like the date and time website. Put in Hong Kong, put in wherever you are, it will tell you what time it is according to the Hong Kong time. So these tables that I'm going to show you, not all of them, most of them, especially in this first section, come from the Dong Gong Date Selection book by Joey Yap. Now, there is a lot more detail about each type of combination in the book that I'm not going to give here. The book in digital format is not too expensive. I happen to have the physical book, which I bought several years ago, but it is basically out of print. There is, the last I checked on Amazon, somebody was selling it used for over 400 US dollars. So get the digital book before that's gone too, if you want to find out all this information, because there's too much information for me to give on a video. So the way I'm going to show this is with a color-coded thing. If it's a brighter magenta color, it's excellent. That's a really good day to start a big project. If it's a lighter magenta, it's auspicious. If it's white background, nothing different, that's neutral. Now, a neutral day, if you've done similar projects and had good luck with them, a neutral day is fine. But if this is something truly new for you, I would restrict yourself to an excellent or an auspicious day, because you don't know that you have the skills to do it right now. If it's just a neutral day, it's something that you've not done. And in general, you want to avoid the inauspicious and the terrible or disastrous days. I mean, these can be quite bad. Now, unfortunately, the rules that govern how these levels are determined are not included in the book, and I have actually not found that information anywhere yet. It doesn't have a distinctive pattern that I can discern just by looking at it. It's a little bit mysterious right now, but I'm going to take it at face value that he's done it right. This book is really a reference book, and he's pretty good with reference books, not making any serious mistakes. Occasionally there'll be a misspelling or something slightly off somewhere, but it's not in the real important dates or important information. So I would say that these probably are correct. So what we have is the Chinese solar month. We always start the year with tiger, so that's where we start here. So we have tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, pig, rat, and ox. And then we have the days in the same order. Now, you notice up here, this is the animal for the day. not for the month, but for the day. We don't care the animal sign for the month. So you can see there's a fair amount of dark on here, but also this month actually the wood animals seem to have a pretty decent thing. Everyone has at least 2 good dates. That's not always the case. So, um, so you know, so this is sort of a better than average. Now, the way you read this is if it's a wood tiger day in the tiger month, this is where you're looking at. If it's in a rabbit month, it'll be here. So you have to know the day and the month. And this is a very complicated screen shot. I mean, you can take a screenshot if you like. It's a very complicated table. This table is not in the book. I have summarized all of the single page things into this table. So it contains a lot of information. Now, this is only for wood animals. So this is the yang wood, this is the yin wood. Tigers are always yang, rabbits are yin, dragons yang, snake yin, horse yang, goat yin, and so forth. So it's always yang yin for all of these animal signs when they're in order. So this is for the fire, either the Bing fire or Ding fire animal. And you can see that there are some days that really there's only one good, like for the snake here, it only has one good day, a couple of neutral days, and the rest are negative. It isn't too bad though. I mean, there are quite a few decent days there, but you will find that these are like consecutive days, these 2 days in a row, but then the next day this is fire. You have to look at the metal ones for the next 2 days and so forth. It's a little complicated, and I'll show you an actual calendar with this in a bit. Now, this is for the earth. This one is definitely not as good. For for the rooster, we only have one good day. Every other day is inauspicious for any other month. So, but it's the this is going to be this rooster is female or yin, so it's the yin earth rooster days aren't very good in general, at least for starting something big. Doesn't mean you can't do stuff that you're already started. It's just not very good for starting something, except for the month of the ox, which is in January, most of January. And and here, the dragon, there isn't a single good day for the Wu, which is Yang Earth dragon. So this is definitely not such a good month or such a good element of the animal signs. And this is for metal. Again, we have this for the pig. It's only good um, during the rabbit month, and so this is sort of in between. Most of these others have at least one good day. This one has 2 neutral and 1 good day. So this is for the ox. It's just the kind of the way it goes. And then this one is quite negative. The dog, and this is for water. So the water dog, yang, that's ren, that's yang water. The water dog is all negative. The pig only has one good day in the rabbit month. The rat only has one neutral day, and the ox only has one good day and one neutral day. And the rest of them are quite bad. So uh, the water ox day is something to be careful about, especially the water dog day, also very, very negative. So this, you can look at this. It's a little hard to remember all this, but that's why I give you all these tables. So let's just look at the beginning of next year. February 4th, is the solar New Year day. So that's this day. It is a tiger month and it's on an Earth Dog Day. And you can look that up. The second day, February 5th, is it is an Earth Pig Day. And then the next day will be a metal rat because Earth produces metal. And so you do 2 days in a row and then you have to go to the next animal sign. And so this is positive. So February 6th is a better day to start something in the Chinese solar calendar uh, than either the first or second day. So it's not too bad. Now, this is I'm starting from February 4th going forward, just to show you how these days in 1 month look like. So we have a good day on the 6th and another good day on the 12th. The rest of the days are negative. So that means that if you want to start something big, you've got 2 days in February to do it. Something new and big. These are the 2 days I would recommend. But if you have a horse in your year, or if you're working adult in your month, you can't use February 6th. And if you have a rat in your day, or I'm not in your day, in your year or your month, again, as a working adult, you would want to avoid this day, the 12th. So even though it's a better day, you clash with the day. So you do want to avoid clash days. And of course, the rest of these aren't good days to start something big. But with the tables I've given you, you can find a good day. Any day of the year, you can know what it is as long as you know the day pillar and the month animal sign. Now, there's a lot of other information in the book by Joey Yap, but he doesn't clearly even tell us which formations are positive and which are negative. He just lists a lot of stuff. The name is often a clue, but sometimes it's not very clear because you have to really understand it. Most of the time he does give it in Chinese, and if you can write in Chinese, and there is ways to do this by hand and picking out the character, which is usually how I do it because I don't have a Chinese keyboard. But that is one way that you can actually find that. Search for it in Chinese, translate it to English, and maybe you can get some more information. It's a very time-consuming process, but that's how I've been doing it. Now, in the book, the other thing that drives me a little crazy, it's not always clear if he's talking about the lunar calendar or the solar calendar for the dates he gives. There's some times where it's really clear, but there are other times where he lists it in a way that is a bit confusing. Now, the lunar months are typically identified by number, as the first month, second month, and so forth, not by an animal. The solar months are typically identified by an animal sign, and that comes through the Bazi, and not a number. But there are many charts where he puts both the animal sign and the number. And I'm not really sure which one takes precedence. Sometimes one is bigger than the other. Does that tell me something? I don't know. So there's a lot more information, a lot more research I need to do, and I'm not going to show you stuff where I'm not quite clear on which one is correct. That is it lunar or solar? Now, there is something called the Yangon disaster dates, and it uses the lunar calendar. And in the book, he clearly states month 1, 2, 3, without any reference to an animal sign. So that is clear. And when you look up this information other places, yes, it uses the lunar calendar and it's clearly stated. So that's what I've been trying to go through And I'm going to do what I can with the book. Some of the stuff is harder to find than others. Now, there are a lot more charts that list both the animal and the number. And then I just don't know which one is right unless I can find the information outside in another web page that makes this clear, because the book is not clear. And that is a bit of a criticism of this book. Now, the book doesn't explain how to use any of these dates. So if you get the book and want to use these dates, you actually have to do some more research. I'm going to do what I can, but I can't research everything. Now, there are also some other special negative dates that are in the Dong Gong system, or at least they're in this book, so I'm assuming they are within that system. One of them is the Heaven and Earth Drilling Sha days, and I can find this information elsewhere too. So I know, since they're talking about season, they're really talking about the solar months. So it's by the animal signs of the month. And you're on the spring season, which includes the tiger, rabbit, and dragon months in the Chinese solar calendar. A wood or metal rabbit will be one of these heaven and earth drilling Sha days. Now, these days, you don't want to dig a hole. You don't want to put a hole in the wall, like even putting a nail in the wall to hang a photo. This is a day you want to avoid doing that. Now, these days, if you look on those charts, the many color charts I just showed you, uh, they range from 3 to 5. But this is definitely a negative day, but it is a negative day for a specific purpose. Not for everything, but like for digging a hole to plant a tree, this would be a bad day. So this is something extra. This is not part of the charts. So these dates for the activity of digging or drilling into walls or anything like that, that overrides the Dong Gong charts I just showed you, the big multicolored charts. So let's look at this. In this month, I've already showed you this table. In this month, do we have it? Yes, we have a wood rabbit day. This is a heaven and earth drilling Sha day. So you wouldn't want to dig a hole this day. Now, let's look at the Yangon disaster days. They do list them clearly as months. And the interesting thing is to know they want to keep the Chinese lunar calendar and the Chinese solar calendar somewhat in sync. So some years have duplicate months. And actually, there is a 2025 actually has a duplicate month. I think it is the 6th month that duplicates. So it will be the 3rd day of the 6th month, and then the next month, and these are lunar months, it will still say 6th, and then you look at the 3rd day there. So it has a very clear pattern. It goes down by 1. Now you see the 2 7th. Well, these are different days. They're just certain number of days apart, and this is just the way it works, and it goes down by 2 for everyone. So do we have one? Here's the Chinese lunar New Year Day. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th day of the 1st month. That's the Yangon Day, and that's confirmed by many different sources. So that is definitely a Yangon Day. Now it sounds terrible because they have the word disaster there. And the thing is, it's like a disaster for everybody because this is a day for everybody. It doesn't really mean disaster. It just means don't start something big this day. That's all. You can go about your normal everyday thing. Maybe be a little more careful than normal. You can just you can just live your life. You don't need to worry about it. It's not like this is the day you're going to have a big earthquake or something like this. That doesn't happen. Just don't start something new this day. So here are the Yangon disaster days if you want to know them. Now, January 29th and this is still in period 8, is also a Yangon disaster day. So I'm going to get this up before the 29th, so this will be of use to people. Next year, 2025, we have we have it on the 18th instead. So you have to know the lunar months. And the best place to find this is actually on this website. And of course, you're going to change the year for different years. And this will tell you, they'll have a little extra symbol, and it will say like first for the first month of that year on a regular Gregorian calendar. And then it will list the days in much smaller print below the Gregorian calendar days. So you can actually just look at that directly. You don't even have to count. This is the easiest place to find it. And it will tell you whether or not there's a repeat month. You just look for 2 in a row with the same month number. So there are also some special positive days. So there's something called the yellow embrace, which elsewhere I found that this is a positive formation. And so since they list these animal signs, we know they're talking about the solar calendar. And they listed them as animal signs on the other website. So I know this is solar calendar. So the tiger month, snake month, monkey, or pig months, you just look for horse day. So there are going to be quite a few of these days. Every 12 days, there'll be one of these in each month. And since we got 30 days in the month, you're pretty much guaranteed to each one of these months. I don't think there'll be a month with just one. Then you have the rabbit, the horse, the rooster, and the rat months. You just look for any tiger day. Here we don't care about the element of either the month or the day. And then for the dragon, goat, dog, or ox, it's the rat day you look for. So these are, I'm not quite sure exactly what these days would be used for other than they're good. And I do think this overrides the multicolored charts I gave you in the beginning. So this day is in a tiger month, so it's one of the horses. This is a yellow embrace day. Now it also happens to have a 1. I don't know if that's because they are taking the yellow embrace day into account in those tables or not. I really don't know. But in this case, it happens to coincide with a really good day. Like I said, unfortunately, this book does not explain at all how the tables with all the multicolored stuff, how they were created. It just gives you the information. So we also have the Heavenly Pardon Days. And I know if you've been watching my YouTube videos, you know that I've already talked about this. So this confirms, again, what I found. I found that elsewhere. I didn't find it in the book, but this book does confirm that I do already have the right dates. And this information is out there too. Now, exactly what days these are is a bit of work, unless you really pay for a service that will find it for you. So we have water tiger and wood tiger. Now, these days aren't the ones that we need for a heavenly pardon. We needed the earth tiger. So I know this is not all of February or all of the tiger month, but it'll be 12 days before we come to the fire tiger, and then another 12 days before we come to the earth tiger. So we're not going to have any heavenly pardon days in February, but there will be one in March. So you can look forward to that, and that will be on at least my PayHip site. And it depends on whether or not I have enough view hours, whether or not it'll be on a membership site on YouTube. So there are also even special days to move, they say a bed, but they also mean basically large furniture. And what is large furniture? Well, a chair is not large furniture. A couch, sofa, that kind of thing, depending on how big it is, yeah, it's probably large furniture. The definition is if a healthy young man of average size can lift it by himself, it's small. If two or more men need to lift it, it's large. So you can use that as a good judgment. Now, moving something, especially something large like this, is an activity. So you must avoid your clash days, if you're living in the place that is, and you must avoid the annual afflictions. That is, moving it into or from or through an area with an annual affliction. Now, if you want to do it, and there's an annual affliction there, and that's, quite a few places in the house, you can use the sun and moon arrival dates for your particular house or your particular unit um, in the sectors where you do have the annual afflictions. So you can still do this in a year where you have annual afflictions. You just have to do the timing right. And I have separate videos for that. Now, the month of the tiger, we have quite a few different possibilities. If it's a rabbit day, it could be a wood rabbit, and wood rabbit, an earth rabbit, or a metal rabbit. They are all qualify, as does the wood and fire or water ox. But we have more days. The fire or water rooster also qualifies. Any one of these days within the tiger month works. Now, this is one of those that say both the tiger and the first month. So I'm not 100% positive here, but I'm fairly certain from reading other places they do mean this is the solar month, the tiger month, and that tiger will show up in the batza for any one of these given days. And so you can, take a screenshot, read this. There's a fair amount of information here. It varies from month to month how many possible days you have. So this is the season of the spring. This is the season of the summer. And here we have even more. We have 5 different possible animal signs of different elements. And it does have to match the element and the animal sign, not just one. So this is again for the summer. This is for autumn. And finally, we have for winter, right here. So I will just show you a little bit uh, for the tiger month. Now, unfortunately, there are no remaining days to move large furniture before period 9 arrives, but there are dates in February, and that is the 19th of February, but not a goat can't use it. That is, if you have the goat in your year, or as a working adult, you have a goat in your month, don't use this day. And February 22nd, but not for the rabbit. So there's a clash there for the rabbit. So it's a rooster day. So there is at least 2 days. Now, again, if you need to move the furniture from an area or to an area or through an area that is a sector or subsector that contains an annual affliction in 2024, because there aren't any days left in this year, this Chinese year that is, you must wait for the sun and moon arrival dates for your house or units specific days to move it without activating the annual affliction. So this is an important thing. And again, I'll have videos, monthly videos on which houses and which directions. So we're talking about a facing direction of a house or a unit. That will tell you what date windows you have. And you'll have 4, every facing direction has 4 of these dates throughout the year. So you will have a date to be able to do this. Now, the annual afflictions in 2024 are in South 2, Southwest 1, all of the West, this is the 5 yellow, the Northwest 1, the Southeast 1, and the Southeast 3. So they, there's a decent amount of the house that has some of these things. Now, again, we're talking about moving large furniture. You can move your chair at your dining table or at your desk. That is not large furniture. We're talking something that takes like two people to move it. So you don't have to be freaked out about this. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Please feel free to either leave a comment or email me here if you have any questions. Again, thank you for watching.